consistently whiffing or dying early in rotation or anything like that. So
you're suggesting he's whiffing and dying in rotation early. It's very bold statements coming out here from Michael Hypoc Robbins here, ladies and gentlemen. Nothing to do with me.
Sure. No, don't watch the VOD.
But it's difficult. You nailed it there, man, where you have literally a world-class player in K-Mine, Prof 8 Win right there behind them. And he's trying to keep it all together. You know, the IGL is probably the hardest role you can play in this game, and frequently that falls to his shoulders. And he has been guiding this team, at least in the macro sense, to be in the position they are, which is ultimately just successful.
Yeah, and I think, there's a lot to account for with three, active players such as Prof, H-Man, and K-Mind, where you have to counteract, your input in fights and in the mid game and stuff with having to micromanage that. So there is the element that Nerf is obviously, contributing in a way that isn't, measurable by stats.
Well, I think that the people that will be most upset by learning that stats aren't everything is everyone in Twitch chat. So shout out to everyone watching right now. Bootcamp center for Genesis, and this is going to be an interesting situation. We see the circle. Where's it going to go here, Hypoc?
Left.
Ooh, right. Almost. There we go.
I was about to say, SSG actually switching up here. They typically drop further to the north here. So actually coming down and actually slap bang in the middle of Zenith and P1E. So a bit of a switch up there. Not sure what's come from that, but maybe this is an audible drop for them on Sanhok. But let's see if they can make any moves. Obviously, they're now dead center of the circle, so it's obviously played off. Valier must have called that pre-game.
I know Ghost has been waiting for these somewhere near the south circles. They're looting just on the southern side of the main island with Drassel across. So now this is a question for Ghost. Will they be able to translate what's been difficult goings on Sanhok into something more towards success? I think they've game planned these types of circles. I've been watching them work on just, talking about how they want to approach these things. I think this is now a situation for Ghost. This is the best circle that they've seen on this map. Yeah,
it is. And ultimately now it comes down to, we say that there isn't much of a macro element on Sanhok, but actually now this is a position where we talk about games where, if you're not necessarily gifted, but you put in a position where you have the opportunity to actually, make plays and position yourself to wipe teams and stuff, you have to capitalize on that. We see actually Valier shutting down Lampalot with the ump of all guns.
The old UMP. Is there a worse way to die in a competitive game? Shotguns or UMP? What's your preference?
I'd rather die to a shotgun, honestly.
Yeah.
I'd rather die to a shotgun. This is effectively somebody throwing pebbles at you. So, impressive work from Valier there. I don't know if Lampalot had a gun. I'd be surprised.
Probably didn't expect SSG
lost an all-out gunfight, but we did actually see, did we not see P1E and SSG clash last week in Sanhok early on? Hector went down and I think Valier traded it out, but I'm not sure if this is now a common occurrence, but it's certainly the first time we've seen SSG drop this far south.
Well, on a map this small, you're bound to run into each other more than once. And I think with SSG, kind of, I wouldn't say out of position, but not normally where they are supposed to be. Player One Esports likely just lulled a little bit, and they lost a player, as it sometimes happens.
Yeah, as we see Genesis make their way in around the 3:40 mark. So again, pretty quick with their rotation there coming from boot camp.
And you know what? I think for Genesis, it's been about just speed to center. And they do that so frequently and so well. And in this situation, they're not having to cross any massive bodies of water.
No.
Don't have to worry too much about moving through choke points. And looks like they're going to center up relatively easily.
Yeah, and ultimately position themselves where, as we can see, a lot of these teams gravitate towards center circle one. And we even had there, obviously, Sharpshot mention it in the interview. Incorrectly so I'm going to call out Microsoft for not watching the VODs, but Genesis picking up vehicles and sending it in for the first one and then setting up on foot, which we do see a couple of teams do. And we see actually Nerf pushing towards SSG's compounds. I'm not sure if they've scouted this and they're just fancying this fight, but they're already going to take some fire. All three of them stacked up. Baha getting the opening knock here. Probably going to pick up a second if he's lucky. H-Win shutting down Baha, trading out there.
That is actually a clutch kill there from H-Win as they were all lined up in the open, and only Profi goes down. Very resible. I wouldn't say very resible.
Jason got an open angle here. He might be able to get the flush. They need to get a smoke onto Profi right now if they want to res him.
You know, I got to notice, whenever SSG is in a fight, you get super into it, and I'm very excited about that.
Okay, I'm just going to be flat now.
No, it's okay. No, I just love the buy-in. You know, I keep hearing him call the team we. Oh, Profi, trying to get across.
You got too into it there.
What's that?
You got too into it there when SSG got a kill.
Listen, don't be sensitive, all right? They're your team. It's allowed. It's allowed. And you know what?
I just want them to do well.
Oh, don't we all? I mean, SSG has always been on the brink, and luckily after a clutch roster change, it looks like they finally have the ability to win something. Anyways,
they haven't won anything yet.
Keenan opening up. They can see some, it's E United. Sonic's and E United. Speaking of teams that get into it a lot on this map, E United and Sonic seem to always be at each other's throats. Balefrost jumping out. Keenan, who that's taking a lot of damage. Now he's only got the single tree to work with. Nades the car in the open. What a push. Balefrost, big energy here. And this is literally all on the line. And he just a little bit far from home. And Balefrost will go down. Keenan, I think, gives him a little bit of waggle there. Big energy there from Balefrost there, Hypoc.
Yeah, and again, I'm not sure if this is... we did see, I commented on the start of last game, Sonic's making a little switch up with people coming a bit further north and setting up for this E United rotate. But again, here, we see them actually capitalize and pick up a kill point. We jump back over. Genesis again getting involved in some gunfights here with Zenith, which is obviously a team that dropped here next to SSG, so they haven't strayed too far away. They've gone away looted. Ashman getting a knock onto Roth. Moody stealing that one away, but Roth actually getting a knock onto Nerf, so... Gonna hope that Genesis can reset here and pick up this res.
It's gonna be difficult for them to get the res. He's in the no window shack.
Yeah.
As Nerf has no way to peek out of that.
Ashman took a massive tag there as well.
Yeah, it's gonna slow him right down. Genesis moved center early, but it's not been easy. It's been uphill for them so far. K-Mind, I think still kind of playing defense. There's really nothing they can do for Nerf unless they smoke his exit.
K-Mind actually, I think, anticipated a push across the road into their compound there because he was throwing a nade into the close building. But you can see Ashman with no smokes. I'm assuming K-Mind hasn't either, but neither of them wanted to rush over to get this res.
I don't think there's any way you can rush for it as Nerf is almost unresable in his position. Sharu out in the blue. Wildcard is all four out there, by the way, as he learns that on the bridge. Pistola time getting the finish. Kickstart gets the points.
That's unfortunate. That's one of those situations where they're probably screaming out, what are they doing there? Taylor J actually coming back now to bridge camp this. Interesting choice. I mean, if he can pick up some kills here, United down to 2 members. So this is one of those things where it's, you know, they're anticipating this rotation. Wildcard moving so late that actually even after E United and Sonic's got into this engagement further south of here, Wildcard still hadn't made any progress towards the blue. And actually, previous game, we saw them all die in the water. So
it's been awful rotations, unfortunately, or very difficult, I should say.
Yeah, I mean, they've picked up the kill point, which for them is going to be justified, but I want to see them in a position where they're actually going to get near the circle and take some team fights.
Well, this is right around the area where they normally loot in these games as well, so they haven't really moved that far at all.
Sorry, we missed it on the replay there, but that was actually a clutch trade from H-Win there. H-Win actually getting the knock. Roth with a nice knock onto Nerf, actually, but... sorry to cut you off.
I don't get. I'm just watching this whole Tempo Storm thing unfold. Riot Squad has arrived at the warehouses. A couple of shots landing in the back line. Sharpshot will go down first. Maluk to follow. Player One Esports spoiling, and Sharky down as well. And just like that, Zampa is the last man standing on Tempo. He's going to have to completely bail out. I imagine they're calling just bail out of there, as Zampa can't do anything to try and salvage that. It's so early in this game. Tempo Storm, after that win, the second one of the day, facing down his 16th place exit.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunate timing there. Obviously, both teams engaging onto Tempo at exactly the same time, as I think their intention was to clear the warehouse. So Riot Squad capitalizing on that perfectly. P1E now in a position where I'm not sure if they know how close Riot Squad were positioned to Tempo Storm, but they could just straight away engage on Riot Squad. You see actually in the background, VZ taking damage already.
And this is just the pressure of this quarry area as the open basin, the ridge lines all around it. Frequently the spot of many gunfights. Aguila only 1 kill, but getting aggressive as Player One Esports. They've been kind of the quiet question. Like, we do see them, they're involved. It's not obviously been bad for them, but it also hasn't been nearly as bright as the last phase.
They had a fantastic start to phase 2. And
yeah.
Ultimately, I think it's always going to be difficult to replicate that. We say the same things about the Rumblers right now, but we're still seeing glimmers of hope. I want to see them get back to, you know, their week 1, week 2 form of phase 2.
Finna going down to Shrimsy. This is Ghost Gaming. They are in the southern portion of this next circle, and I think they're feeling relatively comfortable on the southern end of the quarry. As we're just kind of checking in with teams around the bend, as Riot Squad has been the the story of the day, having a breakout performance on Miramar.
Overall, though, and again,
Just generally playing quite well.
Generally playing really, really well. And I've said it before, but managing to keep pace in terms of kills in a lobby like this for a team like Riot Squad coming back up to MPL. Obviously, a couple of different faces, but a similar roster in the form of VZ and Protege. But I've been nothing but impressed with Riot Squad so far.
Well, VZ's path as an individual player has been so interesting to watch, starting out with Alliance back at IEM Oakland.
Yeah, the spearhead of Alliance.
Yeah, absolutely.
Tip of the spear.
Tip of the spear. As kind of filtered around different teams and contenders, out of contention now and again, but finding himself frequently back in the NPL, and hopefully this time finding something that is going to work for the long term. Valiant looking across the quarry. And I think you can see a little bit of movement here, but this is such a difficult area to spot players. Unless they're in the base in which they're plain as day, but no one's going in there.
I mean, good to see SSG grouped up. That's a positive.
Well, they don't have
They
don't have one player to send out by himself. They've only got 3 left.
That's fair.
Shout out to SSG. So the circle will shift north. Zenith getting the center position. Envy feeling good as well. And the remnants of Genesis not having to move too far, and that's got to feel good, as I believe Nerf did eventually did bleed out.
Yeah.
Oh, David.
Oh.
Nice spray. Oh, he stood up.
He got the second.
He did get 2. Aguila's got to help clean up now. Mystery, he does get the other down, so that's 3 down looking for the last player. Likely cleanup's coming. That's a lot of down players to pick from. The barrel and the 3 times. That's going to be a little bit harder to manage. Smokes come out. Hopefully looking for a finish. Aguila's really got to finish.
I think he should get these now with this nade.
Yeah, there it is.
But Mystery, I don't think he's in a position to cross over and get the res on tails. He's actually taking damage from SSG from afar, so SSG looking for this damage across the quarry. Mystery now in a position where he's got to back up and reset.
So that's, I think, the best thing they could have hoped for, but it did cost him. David's in the down state, could potentially be rezzed, but Zampa is still lurking behind. Another grenade, hopefully trying to finish off the downs. Something wants it, looking for it. 2 taps, easy peasy. Taylor J down and almost flushed.
Almost.
I think he's pretty much lost.
But Tony actually stole it.
Oh, no. That's why you got to be so quick with that damn SLR, man, as Tony will steal the kill. And now it's just Stab. No kills on a United here.
Yeah, this could be an early exit for them. And again, the 4th game in a row with a disappointing United performance, to be honest, today.
As she will sometimes go. I think the biggest issue is they've had to move. They're not getting the circle handed to them, and I know what that's more of a credit to United, where they're able to translate those advantages into wins.
Okay, Tony, what are you doing there? You want
the bolt
action with a bolt action hollow
on Sanhok, no less. I mean, if you're a coach of a team, are you allowing bolt actions on your squad?
I mean, I'm certainly not allowing them to be run with a holographic sight on them, but I mean, it comes down to a player preference. I just think right now, in terms of the competitive meta, there's no reason not to run a DMR. So
right, exactly.
The only time you would run a bolt is if you couldn't find a DMR.
Lord of the bolt actions, Drassel, has been pretty vocal about balancing around DMRs and bolt actions, saying that it would kind of be nice to go back to that 150% body shot multiplier that snipers used to have, maybe tuned a little bit differently, where you're not one-shotting people with level 2 vests with M24s and what have you. But it's been interesting to see the prevalence of DMRs, and as this league gets more difficult, you kind of have to weed out the inefficiencies, and bolt actions feel like a big one.
Yeah, and I think it comes down to the situationally. There's not many chances, not many occasions where there's a better reason to run a bolt, unless a player's medding on a tree and they're sat still. But how often we actually see that become viable in competitive play?
You can move while you're medding now as well.
Exactly.
Waiting for the circle to change. A lot of players stuck to the edge. Zampa, the last man for tempo. After winning a couple of games. Oh, David, another unleashed spray, but this is wild card now.
P1E actually dropping all the way down. David, the last one up. Actually, this nade looking like it could shut him down as well. There you go, Pistola.
Well placed, and there's finally the 16th place team has been decided. It was close there for a while.
Mystery actually
is there, and he does get Adam down and out, and then we're going to have to come back and see, has Mystery got anything left in the tank? Penta, this should be a layup grenade, land right next to the tree. Easy peasy, Penta will take him down. So that's the narrow difference between 15th and 16th place. Doesn't matter, no placement points regardless. But four kills here for wildcard after a very long rotation.
Yeah, and ultimately now they're in a position where Blue's going to be forcing them. Zampa, obviously last one up from Tempo and the Quarry. There is 3 members of, full strength Sonics actually over to the north here. Kickstart pushing all the way up.
Does damage to Tony, doesn't get him down.
problem is time right here. Wildcard have spent so much time wrapping in the blue that now they're in a position where they have no information on what's in front of them. They managed to clean up, obviously, that compound down by the warehouses, but now they're running into the unknown.
Wildcard does not have time. Minute 40 before this next circle finishes closing, but they've got Sonics in front of them. Zampa, actually the lead man, he's running through a very dangerous spot in the basin of the quarry. He's got SSG in front. They're on the edge of the zone. Genesis is there with Zenith. So this entire southwestern side, I imagine we lose probably four or five squads here, Hypoc.
Yeah, I mean, Wildcard needs to just group up right now and push this. Endemic obviously getting involved, knocking Pistola down. Kickstart knocking Keenan. Great shot from Kickstart there. They're probably going to be able to stick this rest. Tony's actually all the way up.
He's literally on fire, by the way.
Pushing them.
Tony, while
That's actually Headstraw. Headstraw got that knock, and then it was obviously stolen away by Kickstart. So Kickstart picking up another free kill. I don't think he's going to make it out of the blue here, to be honest.
I think he'll get the med, but I have never seen someone on fire with a Molotov going for a full flank like that. So shout out to Tony.
In the blue as well.
In the blue. You know, he just wants to. Sonic's trying to make this game harder for themselves. And there's Zampa finding Valiate, who's off on his own, by the way.
I think yeah, SSG with a split here. Valiate out south side, outside of the circle. Headstraw and J-Sank set up next to Genesis compound inside the circle. Unfortunately, I think Valiate was just looking for some free kills as they came in. Good hits there from Headstraw onto Sonics.
That grenade could be good.
They're about to trade nades, I think.
I think that, he's got the wall behind him. Easier to land the grenades for Sonics. And it's going to be another follow-up as Keenan and the rest of the squad are dumping utility, as it looks like Sonics are in a world of trouble. J-Sank, the last man, just trying to find an angle. He's found Zampa, I think. 1v1 situation there, smoke advantage to Zampa. And now Sonics have an angle to move, and it looks like J-Sank's going to be in a hurt sandwich. And there he goes.
Zampa shutting down J-Sank as well. Not out of freedom just yet, because Zampa now has to deal with both members of Sonics now. They've made it in. Keenan and Wooly. Keenan actually getting knocked by a reload there and confirmed. So Wooly now going to have to lay prone and play this one slow.
Zampa still holding on for tempo. If everything's I mean, it's going to be really hard to get the placement points from here, but he'll pick up some bonuses there from the bodies as they're littered all over the place. Endemic again with 4, but the Southwest, again, a question mark, as there's a lot of teams, and they all have to move.
Yeah, we've kind of got this cluster that's actually Crispy is shutting down Wooly there with the Kobe. And actually, wow, good tag actually onto Zampa there. Zampa returning actually onto Wolf, gets the knock.
Got to remember who you're dealing with here, Wolf, as he tries to stick it against Zampa and gets
He's going to try and move off that damage as well.
He has to move because now Genesis has come out. They're getting active against Endemic as well. No help coming for Wolf as there's just no ability. Well, Crispier is kind of lost in the back line trying to determine who he wants to look at first. But Genesis is definitely going loud here. H1 with the bolt up front. The smokes are down. They're going to smoke the window. That's going to take some sight lines away. Zampa in the blue. This is looking like it.
No, he can't stick that res. Yep.
So now Endemic will get him down. Shout out to the enthusiast Clapper, letting people know Endemic's doing well. Now here comes the push. Rello going full in. Surprise! He's on the doorway, and they will trade. He does get one down. K-Mine will get the flush as well, but that's it to the blue. So that's going to be it for Genesis, as they do get a couple of points, and they do some damage. So that's some nice performance. I'm not sure what they end up with for points, but now it's Zenith unleashing with the AK. That's Patron.
Yeah, and actually, we saw this cluster build up. Obviously, Zenith's still stuck here. We are going to see Endemic go out in 8th place to the blue, but right now, Ghost becoming active, pushing down towards Zenith. So they've heard all this fighting, and they want their pound of flesh.
Now a bit of a waiting game. The circle continued to close. Finally, Ghost has become active. They've been kind of slowly slinking in on this southern side as Moody and the rest of Ghost are going to continue to get after it.
Wow. Actually, yeah, Ghost swinging all the way around and actually engaging in a fight onto Envy on the north.
I think there's just a lot of targets there. Low Key is getting a little interested as well. Stab trying to make his way in as the solo player. Still no kills. He's got the level 3 gear and a ton of ammunition. So if he can get something lined up, maybe he can make something happen. But you can see Ghost on the top of your screen battling with Envy. This has been interesting, as now we're moving into another circle with very little hard cover.
Yeah, I think Stab in a position where he's just got to play time. I don't think he should be pushing towards Uncivil here, because Uncivil obviously has a beat on where he is. You can see him actually getting up on top, having a look for him. But Lazarus in a fantastic spot on the north side. They're not really going to be contested by any other teams.
Rumblers could maybe rotate their way onto the ridge line, but that would be pretty rough. I guess they're sharing the ridge line in that situation, so they'd be pushing right into Halo.
Uncivil spotted him there, yeah.
I can't see him. The prone QBU, action at the ready. Civ does not want to leave recoil up to Fate. There it is. You can see the laser beam.
Absolutely no recoil.
So Stab's got the 249 and the level 3 gear, but the precision of the QBU, it's essentially automatic if you can control your recoil. It's a waiting game here. Stab is using the smokes. That's a fresh one. He's going to feint off the smoke, come left, see if he can catch Civ out of position. Alo there to try and support, but this is such a complicated area. You got the
I don't know if Stab has anything on this. Actually, he does have this box here that he can prone behind. I don't think you should be picking that side of Stab.
He's trying.
He is going to get back behind the box. Yeah, he just needs to chill and stay behind that box right now. I mean, Lazarus doesn't look like they have nades on Kurt or Civ. So, as I said, that one comes down from Alo. But yeah, Stab just needs to play on the south side of these boxes right now and just chill out.
They can wait. I mean, they want the kill, obviously. They don't want to get stolen, but they can wait here as Stab is more so just being an annoyance than anything else. And here it's going to be Ghost getting it from low key. That's an opening grenade that takes 2.
Loki actually losing one in the back though. Pax getting knocked. And actually it looks like Envy now are becoming active over on the southwest corner here. They're going to try and push up onto Ghost. And
Ghost has lost 2, and they're just going to go another one to grenades. Ooh. It's now just Drassel. The cleanup crew has arrived. I think Drassel's even being hidden by the corpses of his down teammates. Yeah. They do spot him, and just like that, Ghost is going to get wiped off the map. 5th place there for the, excuse me, 6th place there for them.
And now Stab back.
Stab also got Purdy down as Lazarus has to move into the zone. They're leaving Kurt behind. Kurt was slow to leave the compound, and Stab is going to get that point.
Pax now swinging back around, trying to get some damage onto Rumblers as they transition through with these smokes. Loeb's actually getting the knock off the water, so good shots there through the smoke to get that knock. Should buy some time for Loki.
Pat is going to take down Fignaldo real up close with that QBZ. And Pride is down 7 kills here for Envy. No kills on Pride, but Stab is still trying to fight his way into the zone. And finally, Lazarus will take him out. But he did get one down off of them as well. So now United going down 5th place. Decent finish for them. Not a ton of kills, but at least they're in the points.
Sloppy work from Lazarus, though. To lose somebody there, obviously keeping 4 alive here where no other team has, would have been a huge advantage for them coming into the end game.
Lobes and Pax moving around. Pax is going to finish off Los. Cherry prone as per protocol. It is Sanhok after all. And now for Lobes and Pax, I think they're just kind of inching their way forward towards where Envy is, who's making their way slowly into the zone. Lazarus is going to happen upon Cherry. Free kill there for them. Pride going to go down again. And now Lazarus, this is where they could potentially sweep out and get some zone control. And they're going to finish off Pride.
Well, actually, yeah, Luke shutting down Terror with a nade there. That's a long throw there. So actually, Pacav's last one up on Envy. Pax and Lobes down on the south side versus the 3 strong Lazarus on the north.
Taro going to get finished off by Lazarus. Lobes is going to find Pat Envy down. And now it is a Lazarus versus low-key endgame. Civ is on the flank. He's looking for it. Oh, it's a trade in the open. Both players losing tons of health. Pax will eventually go down. And now it's Lobes going for the med. Maybe some info coming from Pax, but it's a 3v1 in the endgame. This is going to be Lazarus hopefully taking this game and trying to get something going. But Lobes can take down Civ. And it's going to be a wide flank from Alo. Lazarus taking the victory, 7 kills.
A good work from Lazarus. That's the sort of game that we need to see from them.